Alright, back for the third round with a pretty sweet hand. We're on the draw, but I think that's alright. Hopefully he doesn't come out of the gates too quickly. Another green deck. Big shocks. I'm actually going to lead with a temple here, digging for some action. I don't really want another come to play tap land. Don't really mind drawing another land at some point to play Ojutai, but for now I just want to make sure I can keep my opponent's board clear. The easier it is to, or the clearer my opponent's board, the easier it is to like justify tapping out for something like Mantis Rider to start attacking. With that said, you know, there are a lot of situations where it is better to tap out for Mantis Rider and start attacking as opposed to killing something, because in the long run that couple points of damage might end up mattering a lot. But here I'm just going to go ahead and kill the Elvish Mystic to slow him down. I assume that his deck doesn't have a ton of ways, or a ton of targets for Lightning Strike, and even if it is something like Den Protector, you know, he's usually going to save that until he can get something back, and I'd rather just slow him down since he didn't cast a 3-drop on turn 2. The odds of him casting a 3-drop on turn 3 are not very high, but Brimaz. Alright, well, we going to kill that? I have no idea what my opponent's playing. I would guess a Collect a Company deck, actually, now that I think about it. He couldn't cast Brimaz on 2 because he had Elvish Mystic Forest, which seems odd to build your deck in that way. But if he main phases Collect a Company here and hits 2 big things, it's going to be hard for us to catch back up. Probably have to trade off Mantis Rider for something. I have to say I haven't been too impressed with Jeskai Charm so far. I was assuming that a lot more games would come down to me trying to burn my opponent out, but I am playing the deck in such a way that it is much more like a bad removal spell than anything, and we don't have a lot of tokens, so it makes it a little worse. 2 Fleecemane Lions, that's going to be tough. Huh. Alright, well, guess we'll start trying to attack him to death. Might be able to race. He can only Monstrous 1, and that's only if he has an untapped land. If he has Dramoka's Command, we are basically dead. Although if he Dramoka's Commands and attacks, we could get him pretty good if we draw a Valor Stance, because then we get to Valor Stance 1, and then maybe Jeskai Charm the other. But definitely not blocking, since he'll just Monstrous whichever one we block. Take 7 down to 11. Jeskai Charm might actually end up being good here for us, though. If he just spends 2 turns Monstrosing, though, that's awesome for me. Well, that's not exactly what I wanted to happen. Alrighty, well, we can block the Fleecemane Lion, trade or threaten to trade. If he pumps this one, we get to Jeskai Charm it. Could just play Ojutai and chump block, but that seems like a losing proposition. Alright, well, guess we can actually just double block the one with the Fleecemane with the Boon Satyr on it, and then when he Monstroses, we can Jeskai Charm it. We'll take 3, but he'll spend most of his turn to do that. Actually, that might be pretty bad to do that. We might should have just main phase, but I really wanted him to Monstrous. I guess we can block here, and that forces, like, he can just let that trade and we'll go to 1, and then we can attack and play something, or just block maybe. I'm just thinking through all the iterations. So he might just pass if we double block here, but I think I have to risk it and hope that he goes for Monstrous. So we're in pretty bad shape. regardless of the outcome. Yeah, that was not good. So if he passes turn here with 5 up, I think we have to just go Jeskai Charm to put the Boon Satyr on top. No, that's bad. I guess we put Fleecemane Lion on top. Yeah. So now he's threatening lethal with these two guys, but he can't make his Warden bigger than a 3/3, and so we can block it with Ojutai. And I think I have to take 2 from the Boon Satyr. Just hope I draw a Roast or something to go Soulfire Roast. Or maybe even... Oh, ugh. Go. And we're dead, I think. Yeah, we're dead. Tilt. Weird. Okay, we're going to bring in Anger. First verse same as the first. Or second verse same as the first. Valor Stance doesn't seem like it's that good in this matchup. So we're going to trim those. All of our other spawn removal spells seem pretty good. Stress Dancer is mediocre. It does counter Collected Company, but it's the same as Disdainful Stroke, except slower, and I don't think I want either of those. So yeah, we're just going to lean on removal spells and Treasure Cruise and Soulfire to dig us out of it. I feel like his deck has a pretty tough time beating a Resolved Elspeth, so I guess that's one plan we can go for. I think the turn where I played Valor Stance on his Brimaz, I think I should have just played Manish Rider and attacked. Because, yeah, he gets to hit me for 3, but I also can just eat his token. And he didn't have enough mana to Boon Satyr, so I think I talked myself out of a better play early on. Alright, so game 2, we're going to be on the play, and this end's fine. We definitely need to find a second source of red for the Anger of the Gods. That could be a gigantic blowout if we can. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck trying to 1-for-1 them, and that's not terrible, but we want to make sure our Anger actually hits. Don't want an island. If we don't draw a red next turn and any elves, we might just want to Wild Slash it to slow him down. I think that's what's going to happen. Now if he plays Fleecemane Lion or something like that, I think we're locked into just Lightning Striking it. Alright, go ahead and get an island. Pardon my sniffles. It's the downside of having 3 cats in your house. Alright, I'm gonna kill it, I guess. This Anger is looking worse and worse, but it might be good in a few turns once I get Ojutai into play. Yep. Death Miss is gross. Alright, that's not so bad. Now maybe instead of just playing a Collected Company, he has just another 3-drop. That's not Brimaz. Another Death Miss would be gas. Alright, now he missed a land drop, so I think I'm actually just going to put this on top of his library, and he might Boon Satyr me or something, but that means he's just going to cast Death Mist next turn, and then, or end of turn Boon Satyr, and then untap and play the Death Mist. And we keep him off of his 4th land for Collected Company, which I think is good. And we're going to go and play Ojutai instead of holding up for Ojutai's command, just in case he doesn't have a Boon Satyr here. Like, basically, if he goes in turn Boon Satyr, we get smacked for 4, but then we get to untap anger away a Boon Satyr and his Death Mist, and get a card off the Ojutai. And if he just passes without playing anything, then I guess we can maybe assume he has Plummet or something. And then, well, we sided out Valor Stand, so we don't actually have any ways to protect him, so I guess we just have to attack regardless. I guess we could hold him back to block, hold up for Ojutai's command, counter a thing and draw a card, or gain 4 life and counter a thing. Yeah, perfect. Mono perfects. And we even get the Treasure Cruise. Everything's coming up Millhouse. We can get to exile the Death Mist so we can't ever bring it back. Alright, so I guess we want a Manus Rider over another Cruise. Elspeth, also great. We even have Roast plus Soulfire to make sure we don't die to, you know, random damage in a few turns. Depending on if we draw a land or not, this game could just be over next turn. Or at least as close to as it's going to get. Another Raptor. Alright, so... This might be ill-advised, but I think this is probably the best amount of pressure we can put on him. I think we'll go ahead and roast his Death Mist. Got another Anger and another Roast. We'll keep the other Roast so we can make sure we gain maximum life with our Soulfire Grandmaster if it comes to that, but for the most part, I'm hoping he just dies to Ojutai attack plus Lightning Strike. Even if he has a way to kill one or the other, hopefully we'll be able to take it down that way, but had nothing and died. Hooray. I think we are okay with the current configuration. I think Wild Slash kills enough stuff to leave it in. He does have Elf and Warden of the First Tree, Boon Satyr, and he might have something else too that we haven't seen yet. So we'll just keep going with it like this. Hopefully we have an Anger and opener with enough red sources to cast it. Alright, back for the third game, and we only have one red source, but we do have Anger, Lightning Strike, and Soulfire. All cards that are pretty good in this matchup, so, and he also mulligan, and we're on the draw. So we have a couple of turns, hopefully, to draw a red source. We may just end up doing what we did last game, where we just Lightning Strike away an early thing, and then use Anger later in the game to get rid of like a Death Mist Raptor or something like that. Alright, scry to the bottom. Alright, start with a Flutter Strand. That way we can fetch up. We don't really want to draw any more islands or plains. We just want red sources. And we want to fuel our Treasure Cruise as quickly as possible. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and crack that with the Lightning Strike, I believe. Alright, maybe not. We drew the red source immediately and it came into play tap, so hopefully it just plays Death Mist Raptor or some such, and we just get to go Anger. Or maybe even just like another Fleecemane line would be great. If he plays nothing, we may just Manus Rider. I think we'll just do that. You know, we're going to lose a little bit of value out of our Anger, but we're not going to be in trouble as far as life is concerned because we have Soulfire, Lightning Strike, and Roast. So he may just go Collected Company here, and if he does that... Ooh, Glare. Alright, well... Okay, well we're going to go Soulfire, and then we're going to upkeep Lightning Strike in case he has something like Dramoka's Command. It's possible I should just wait for him to initiate and just keep taking 3, but I don't know if I can afford to do that. Luckily he didn't have anything to punish me there. But next turn, if he doesn't establish a board presence, then we have to assume he has Collect a Company that he's sitting on, and we may just cast Treasure Cruise off the fetch, and look to just like chump block with Soulfire or something. Morph. That could be a lot of stuff. It's probably Den Protector. Alright, yeah. We could take a lot of damage here from like, or if even if he just gets back Glare, that's not even a big deal. Alright, we'll go ahead and get a second blue source that doesn't deal us any damage since we already have 2 white sources. This also gives us the ability to potentially go activate Soulfire, buy back Roast next turn. I think that's a pretty sweet play. Now if it's Den Protector, get back Glare, he gets to Glare Soulfire, but we have another one. And we also get to just Anger next turn. If he gets back Fleece Mane, we just Anger also. We end up gaining a ton of life off the Soulfire, but I would obviously rather not kill my own guys, but since we already had it in play, and he's just going to go Glare anyway, I think we're in okay shape. It's generally a good bet that if you play something like a Soulfire Grandmaster or even a Mantis Rider, your opponent has a pretty decently high likelihood to play into an Anger of the Gods. He feels more comfortable making that trade, but when you're playing a deck that has stuff like Treasure Cruise, your odds increase significantly the more you... Well, this is weird. So I guess I just go for a Roast over an Anger. He didn't Glare, which was kind of weird. But I think I need to do that instead of Angering. I want to get him to use his Glare. I was really surprised he didn't use it last turn, to be completely honest. Really hope that his last card is not Dramoka's Command, because then he gets a Fleece Mane line that I can't kill. Basically just have to race it. Yep. That really sucks. I really wish I had another red source in play so I could just Anger now. But, yeah, I don't know. We're gonna get cracked here for a lot. And he's probably gonna Monstrous. So we can't afford to have the Anger anymore. We basically just need to draw a regular damage-based spell to kill Den Protector and gain life off of Soulfire. And then, last-ditch effort, if we don't draw something like that, we can just Soulfire plus Anger to gain a ton of life. He may not even Monstrous here, since he knows I didn't have another cheap spell removal spell last turn, or else I would have killed his Fleece Mane in response. And I also bottomed with my Scry land. So I guess there's a potential that he might do something like even Boon Satyr on a Den Protector would be pretty good. That cracks me for 10. Forces me to have an immediate answer. I feel like I could have played this game a little bit differently. I know one of his cards is Glare. He's probably just going to go Glare attack for 6. But then I get to Anger, so he's probably contemplating the value of Glare or Monstrous, and I'm sure he's just gonna Monstrous if I don't block, so I was pretty sure. Guess I can be proven wrong pretty regularly. Maybe he'll just play another guy. That'd be great. Glare guy. Glare Deathmiss Raptor. That'd be perfect. Need to what? Change his mind on the Monstrous? Okay, that's weird. Okay, perfect. So this gain 5, scry, pretty high life total, Treasure Cruise, perfect. And Now, if he, depending on which one he glares, I think either one he glares we're going to be able to race against pretty easily, since his lion attacks for 4, and we're either attacking for 3 flying or gaining 2 life. He'll probably kill the Soulfire if I had to guess. Actually, I figured out, okay, so the turn where I cast the previous roast with the Soulfire in play and he Dromoka's commanded me, I think that there's a lot of value in just doing nothing on that turn. By doing nothing, he's afraid to Mantras next turn, or he's basically afraid to Mantras at all, as long as I leave up 2 mana, because I have the potential to just Lightning Strike in response. And so then I get to untap. If I draw a removal spell, I can go play the removal spell. He keeps from doing damage, fights Soulfire, and then post-combat I get to Anger. I think that would have been a better play instead of playing the Mantis Rider. We may end up winning anyway because we do have the Treasure Cruise on top, but you know, everything could change if he just draws Collected Company, or even a Boon Satyr on his Hexproof Fleecemane line would be pretty bad. Unfortunately, we cannot activate Soulfire and cast Treasure Cruise. And he killed our guy anyway, so definitely can't do it now. So now we're just going to play the race game. Hopefully I win. Elvish Mystic. We can beat Elvish Mystic. Really need to find Elspeth or something like that that can constantly chump block while Mantis Rider attacks in the air. Another Mantis Rider would be good too. Put him on Lethal Clock. Jeskai Charm is not bad. We can actually Jeskai Charm plus Anger next turn. Unfortunately, we cannot kill him with Jeskai Charm just yet. And if he has Boon Satyr here, I don't think we can afford to block Fleecemane Lion. If we block Fleecemane Lion, I think that's just a conceding move. Yeah, so if he has Boon Satyr, I think we just have to lose to it. I think I'm okay with that. Obviously, we can play around things in certain... Like, obviously, blocking plays around Boon Satyr, but it puts us in a position where I don't think we can win the game anymore. So always want to keep that in mind. Yeah, if he just plays like Death Mist, what we can do is go, yeah, pre-combat, +1/+1 lifelink, attack for 4, Anger of the Gods, killing Mystic, and Death Mist. Looks like he's playing something. I don't know why he's tapping Elf. Morph. I guess that's Den Protector. He's going to get back Glare and cast Glare. Yeah, that's bad. He's getting back Dromoka's command. That is also bad. Puts us to 3. Yeah. Maybe we should have just Jeskai Charmed his Elvish Mystic, but I think that is a bad play as well, since we're actually losing to the Fleecemane Lion by itself. He may actually not even go for the Dromoka's command here. But, yep, he's gonna. And we can +1/+1 and gain life. I think we actually want to do that so that we get to gain 4, and so we go to 12. We actually get to survive for 1 extra turn, but it kills our out of drawing into a second charm to kill him. But I think the lifelink there is pretty important. We're going to take 5 down to 7, but anger away these 2 guys. He has no cards in hand, and we have like 2 turns to draw an Elspeth. Alright, so we'll just anger and hope to draw Elspeth. That's basically all we got. We can draw like a chump blocker or whatever. Treasure Cruise. Still, we can draw Treasure Cruise and Elspeth. I guess that would be best case scenario. Or Treasure Cruise into Soulfire plus something. Alright, not enough. Let's Wild Slash ourselves. And then with it on the stack, we'll take 2 damage. Alright, well, that was sweet 3 matches in a row. Hold on, I don't know what I'm doing. Moto's acting up. Yeah, so that was round 3. We're going to play one more 2-man just to round out the video and get a little more play with the deck. But, I mean, Collected Company is pretty tough for a deck like this to beat for the most part. We can usually removal spell away most of his creatures, but, you know, he's going to get the constant 2-for-1s with, you know, Fleecemane Lion, Dromoka's Command. Those cards are pretty tough to beat if we don't draw the right cards at the right time. We could have maybe played around the Dromoka's Command, but he didn't have it the first time when we upkeeped, you know, Lightning Striked on his Lion. So I think it was safe to assume he didn't have that when he did, or at least hope that he didn't have it. But we'll be right back for the next.